Welcome to CEO Money. I'm Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. I have Neil Jesani, CEO of Bima Life Corporation, with me today. Neil, welcome to the show. Thanks for being here.
Great to be with you, Michael. It is absolutely a pleasure.
Give us some background on you and Bima Life Corporation, what you do, and I have some questions about market conditions, tax consequences, and moving forward some others.
Sure. So I started Bima Life in 2007 as actually a technology company. I was hoping that it will become the Expedia of actually financial planning world. Maybe I was ahead of the time or I was not able to build it, but that ended up being that more kind of high-end financial planning firm that does the advanced tax planning strategies for the high income earner and high net worth people across the country.
All right, give us some idea of current market conditions.
So I do believe that market is going to be volatile as we are seeing the saga unfolded on a TV today and what we have seen throughout the year. So I do believe that the market condition is going to be volatile, but I'm not looking any recession or any dramatic downturn or so. That's been said, that if you're sitting on a money or you just sold your business and has that extra money to invest or that any other money, maybe it might be a good idea to hold on it because you might get the good opportunity in the next couple of years or so.
You have a forecast for the future of American taxes, and I'd like to hear it.
Sure. So this is actually a great question, and that most people don't understand the history of American taxation and where we are. So if you look at the American taxation officially become actually permanent under the 16th Amendment in 1913. So if you look at the history of U.S. taxation and in particularly income tax from 1913 until today, if you look at the top marginal tax bracket, it is the 57%. So if you look at until 1980s, we lived in a very high income tax environment. It is the last, if you look at 35 years that we are living in the considerably lower income tax environment. So that's been said that you and I both feel that we are paying too much in taxes and that many high earners, high income earners, obviously, that are probably paying more than their fair share in the taxation. But if you look at in the historical perspective, then we are living in the essentially lowest income tax environment. Now that in terms of future, what we need to look at in the future, what we know is that we are living into the lower income tax environment. That is number one. The second thing we know is the U.S. debt, and that everybody talks about the U.S. debt, how it is actually mounting. It is actually 22 trillion years in Tom. Now, and that number is also essentially misleading. That does not include the unfunded liability of the U.S. government, the liability of Medicare, Social Security, budget deficit. If you factor in, then it is well over 100 trillion. What does it mean? It means that almost $1 million debt per taxpayer. So where I'm going with this one is someday somebody has to deal with this debt sooner or later. And there are only two ways to deal with this debt. Either you raise the taxes or you reduce the spending. Now that we know where the government is, even with a Republican president, we were not able to reduce the spending. So only way that we can deal with this one is essentially the raising the taxes. So that's where that I'm thinking that going forward. may not be in the next few years, but in the next 5, 10, 20, 30 years, that we need to deal with this debt, and that the only way we are going to deal with the more tax high income earners.
Okay. Um, in order to put that into perspective and to be able to deal with it, you've got a plan for it. Give us some insights on what you're telling your clients about how to plan for the eventuality of just a gross increase in taxes as we go forward.
Sure. So that other, you want to have the two-pronged strategy. One is obviously you want to reduce taxes now, and there are some strategies that you can put it in a place to reduce your income now. But at the same time, you don't only want to reduce your income now, because we know that one now, we know the history, so we are living into the lower income tax environment. So you want to create the tax-free income for future as well, because we don't know. Say that if you're 50-year-old, you have another 30 years or that actually 40 years before you say goodbye to this world. So we don't know what would be the tax rate at that time. So you don't want only the tax deferral, but you want to build the tax-free income as well. So I would do is I build the two-pronged strategy where I can take as much as deduction now and at the same time create the tax-free income for the future, Michael.
What type of vehicles do you see as being really the predominant places to put the money to create the tax-free income going forward? There's a lot of them out there.
Sure. Sure. So that other, if you look at conceptually, there are only three advanced strategies that you can reduce your taxes now and in the future. One is obviously recategorizing your income. If you're getting W-2, you probably convert into 1099, take the expenses, put it some other strategies, and that is what one way. Or that if you're getting that other actual W-2, you take as a dividend, pay the lower that other actual tax rate. That is one. Second one is to use some employee benefit plans, such as actually 401k defined benefit plan, pension plan that we know. That is what the second one. The third strategy, the advanced tax planning strategy, is essentially investment based. That's where you use the actual real estate or the opportunity zone or some other investment, such as life insurance or some other investment out there. Those are tax efficient. Those are the investment based strategy that will help you reduce the taxes now and in the future.
Good. Neil, I think I've gotten everything out of you I could possibly get about this subject. Is there anything that I may have missed in our interview you think is important for our audience to take home with them?
Yeah, only thing that I would like to share is that that's what is in my book, actually, Win the War for Money and Success, and that other what I'm saying, it is the middle and the high earner paying more than fair share of their income in the taxes, because this folks has actually worked hard and they went to good school and they were able to build some good fortune. Now they are penalizing to pay more in the taxes. So yes, we should be paying our taxes and that we should be helping the economy and country, but at the same time, you don't want to pay more than your fair share. So there are many strategies that you can actually put it in a place, and that other actually is the burden. So I would say look for those, and I guess that is what is the last thing I would like to share, Michael.
Great. Neil, thank you for being a guest on our show and availing us of the wisdom that you have to help people the way you're helping them.
Thank you for having me, Michael. It was absolutely great to be with you.
My pleasure. All right, you've been watching CEO Money with Michael Yorba. Thanks for joining with us. Don't forget, download our app. It's on the homepage of our website, WFN1.com. Talk to you soon. Thank you.